plane. If any of us, I don't care who we are, live in a city of 4,000 people, and you bring in 2,500 migrants overnight into one place, there are going to be problems, and people are going to complain. That doesn't make you a bigot.
There are absolutely problems.
That should be what we're focused on.
That the governor has documented and that we have talked about here.
That's Republican Senator Marco Rubio getting into a heated debate with CBS pretend journalist and professional schoolmarm Margaret Brennan about establishment media's new favorite topic, Haitian migrants. Welcome to Nurk News, I'm Nurkish, and it looks like it's Marco Rubio's turn to defend Trump and Vance's comments about Springfield, Ohio. Here's CBS's model of NPC reporter repeating liberal talking points and saying that there's no evidence of residents complaining about Haitian migrants and animals, even though a quick search on Google or social media will show you otherwise.
Well, here in this country, in terms of people being inspired to take action, we have been looking, as you heard, about what the perception of the public is right now, particularly with some of the things that Mr. Trump and Mr. Vance say. Our poll shows 2/3 of Trump supporters believe those false and disparaging claims about Haitian migrants are true. The governor of Ohio has said he is a big supporter of the ticket, but he's sad about this because there's no evidence of these claims. He's disparaging migrants who are legal, and the verbal attacks dilute and cloud what should be a winning argument for Republicans about the border. Do you agree that this kind of thing is a distraction from the broader point and dangerous?
Well, it shouldn't be a distraction, because at a minimum, it shouldn't keep us from, for example, saying, okay, well, maybe I don't believe the dogs and the cats thing, but there are literally people moving in by the thousands in the case of Springfield, Charleroi in Pennsylvania. You know, that's a 4,000 person city that has 2,500 migrants. And I think one of the problems here is that somehow Americans who are not intolerant, they're not bigots, but they are troubled by the fact that their city is being flooded. In Springfield, you see reports, these are legitimate reports, of huge increases in traffic accidents leading to slower police response time, overcrowded schools. I mean, the strain this puts on a community, and if you complain about it, somehow you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a hater.
Notice the sleazy shell game she's playing with words here. She's trying to claim that these people are illegal, because to most Americans, that would indicate some sort of lengthy naturalization process with applications and interviews. But as JD Vance pointed out, that's not the case. Harris just waved a magic wand and granted these people temporary protection status, then started placing them in red areas that just happened to vote against her in 2020. You know, call me crazy, but the disparity between red and blue areas seems a little stark here. I mean, after all, they don't seem to be shipping them off to Martha's Vineyard.
But it wasn't everyday people making those claims. It was the Republican nominee and his vice president making those false claims about Haitian migrants.
Well, those are claims. No, those are claims that people. Those are claims that people in those communities made. Maybe some have now recanted or moved aside from it. But that should not take us away from the fundamental truth. And that is, there are real impacts happening when you move people into communities, as has been done by design by the Biden administration and allowing people across the border.
You're in leadership. You know words matter.
Yeah, and I think one of the words that should matter the most is there is a real migratory crisis. There is a real migratory crisis. And even in this particular case, not just Springfield, Charleroi, other places like that, there are real impacts happening in our country with this movement of mass migration, and that's not gotten the coverage that it deserves. And you say you've covered it, but it hasn't gotten the coverage. The cats and dogs thing has gotten way more coverage than the real world impacts that this is having. And I think that's what needs to change in the way this issue is covered.
Mm-hmm. We will talk about that more on this program, sir. We've got to leave it there for today. Senator Marco Rubio, thank you for joining us.
Words matter, says the smug liberal reporter, talking down to her guest while absolving herself and her corrupt industry from any wrongdoing in the atmosphere leading up to multiple attacks on Trump. But to be fair, she does have a point. I mean, without Trump and Vance making those comments, Springfield, Ohio wouldn't be flooded with threats and hate crime reports that were confirmed to be hoaxes by the governor and mayor. You know, you could tell Rubio really struck a nerve here, because Brennan immediately used the usual tactic of stern finger wagging at the guest before shutting down the interview, which tells you all you need to know about where her loyalties lie. But let me know what you think. Is there any proof of residents making claims about migrants in Ohio? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe.